The fall PEC season has officially wrapped up, which means it's time to show who was the best of the best. A bunch of weeks gone and a bunch of talent here today. I'm Rowan Mastrangelo with my good friend Jack Elliott, and it's the Fall Stars, the best players of Rocket League through all of fall across all 9 teams in the PEC have gathered here today for an electric best-of-7 series. It should be a great time. Jack, I'm fired up. What have you thought about this fall of PEC play so far?
It's been incredible, Rowan. Of course, we got Rocket League tonight. We got Overwatch tomorrow, Val on Wednesday, and Super Smash. Excuse me, I'll take that again. We've got Rocket League tonight, Overwatch tomorrow, Valorant on Wednesday, and Super Smash Bros. Of course on Thursday. Super Smash Bros. The other esport you and I like to call, Rowan.
Sure.
But this has been an absolutely fantastic semester of Rocket League. We've had the pleasure of being on most of the Syracuse Rocket League games. It's been a ton of fun. I'm going to take you guys through a quick standings update. It's Baylor at the top of the standings. They are undefeated.
Crazy.
They are incredible.
So good.
Followed by Boise State. Doc's crew, of course, they're fantastic. Number 3, you got Michigan State, followed closely by Syracuse at 4. At 5, you got Kansas. Number 6, Utah. At 7, you've got Ohio State. Then back to the west, number 8, Nebraska. And number 9, Minnesota.
It's a great group of teams. That top 4 has been so entertaining to watch. Obviously, all of these games have been great. There have been a number of upsets thus far, but that 1 through 4, especially that one in Baylor. We've got 2 Bears represented today, one of just 2 universities who have 2 all-stars, fall stars, coming in and representing their school. The other one being Michigan State. It's Otbaum and Drewy from the Spartans. But the Baylor Bears, bringing the loud pack all season long for the PEC. It's been Hoxer and Andy. Andy, 37 goals, 24 assists, both number 1 in the PEC. He leads the entire conference in goals and assists. What a stud.
They came in when we saw them last, and they stomped Syracuse. It wasn't
even close.
It was incredible.
It was incredible.
They are a joy to watch, whether you're rooting for them or against them. And fortunately, today we have the pleasure of being neutral. So
right.
We get to enjoy whatever we want. Switching over to the east, of course, you've got the 2 Michigan guys. You've got Otbaum and Drewy, but representing our Syracuse Orange is, of course, Gababy.
Of course, we're highlighting the whole PEC today, but I love that you paid focus and paid homage to the OG, Gababy. He's been on this squad for, this is his 2nd year now, and he's paired amongst 2 SU rookies in Lesser and Tiz. So he's really leading the charge of this 4-seeded Orange squad. Maryland native, he has been fantastic this year. 11 goals, 33 saves. A lot of times a high save count can be a reflection of your team like letting up a lot of goals, but no, he's been locked down, and that's reflected in the overall Syracuse record of the 4 seed in the PEC. So he's been fantastic. We've had the pleasure of talking to him before a lot of games, including this one, and he's just excited to be here.
Yeah, he said all he wants to do tonight is have fun. He was a little worried going in, but he saw his teammates. I showed him the roster. He didn't know the roster. I showed him the roster on my phone. He was like, man, I'm excited to go up and challenge the powerhouse that is the West.
The West is really, really solid. We went through the standings earlier, but number 1 seed Baylor, number 2 seed Boise State, number 5 Kansas, number 6 Utah, and number 8 Nebraska, all on the West. So the top 2 seeds of All-Stars all on the West, and then the East, really solid group as well, but those top 2 seeds all congregating on the West. It's going to be a tough match, but if anyone can handle it, it's Gababy from the Orange. He's faced some tough competition, and he's also played with a lot of these guys, Jack. Is that right?
Yeah, I was talking to him before the game. He said he's queued with Otbaum before from Michigan State. Oh, cool. So, they've played together, and, he said he was excited to get back on the field, the proverbial field, of course,
right.
with him. Looking at the rest of this Eastern roster, though, Rowan, you've got Pye from Minnesota, Otbaum and Drewy, as we talked about, and Gaines from Ohio State rounded out with Gababy.
It's a really great roster. I want to highlight Otbaum. You said Gababy and him. They did some queuing online together or just got on the same teams. He's been fantastic for this 3-seeded Michigan State team. 28 goals on the year. That's the 5th most in the PEC. He's the only player on the East to have a top 5 ranking in any of the 4 major stats: goals, assists, saves, and demos, that is. So he's really representing this East Coast well statistically, and he's done all of that on the field. Michigan State was one of the 4 teams to join us here in Syracuse in PEC opening weekend, and we had the pleasure of talking with Opbaum, Drewy, and the rest of the Michigan players and staff, and it was all fantastic. And Opbaum and Drewy as well, they were just so excited to be here. It's really been fantastic this first fall of PEC play. Something I've noticed from all these teams, but Michigan State in particular, is just a thrill in the rise of Collegiate Rocket League and the rise of the PEC. There's something going on here. There's something in the water where there's a website where you have stats available. There's just a level of professionalism that is rising this fall, and it's really instilled itself after a couple weeks of play.
And you know, Rowan, it all leads to the same thing, which is after the full spring semester of play, the PEC championships in Las Vegas. I'm incredibly excited for those. I think they're going to be an incredible showing. You know, last year was kind of the sort of thing where it was a little bit of a secret heading right up to it, and then it was like this grand unveiling. This year, everybody's excited to be in Vegas. It's a known commodity. The PEC is a known commodity now, and you've got teams who are excited to play and excited to be on that main stage.
It's so exciting to have high stakes like that you know from the jump. When the stakes are high, it makes you play even harder, and sometimes it makes people crack under pressure, but that's when the best moments are formed. And as we pivot from the fall to the spring, the pressure's only going to rise, which means the play is only going to get more exciting, more incentive for us to stick around and pay attention, and for everyone at home to tune into these games and just be locked in. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be locked in on these games? That final in Las Vegas, April 12th through 14th, be sure to tune in. All those games will be streamed. If you're in Las Vegas, swing by. Why the heck not?
Yeah, nothing better to do in Las Vegas.
right,
in
exactly.
my opinion.
There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do except collegiate esports. What else we got on this roster?
I want to go take a look at the West,
sure.
Rowan. We haven't looked at the full West roster
That's
yet.
Right.
You've got Woozy from Boise State. You've got Brange from Utah. You've got Creed RL from Nebraska, and then rounding it out, you've got the 2 Baylor guys in Andy and Hoxer, and one more. You've got Meave from Kansas.
Meave, Kansas, awesome, star-studded, 57 saves on the season. That's the top of the PEC. None of those other stats that he's got are quite up there. None of them are as jarring as the 57 saves count. I mean, that is a lot. And it's not a reflection of Kansas's team. They're right up there with the Syracuse Orange in terms of record, right around that 4-5 seed, really competing for a decent spot in Vegas and maybe an opportunity to get a bye or just an advantageous matchup. They have the opportunity to do that, and Meave's been a huge reason why, mostly on the defensive side.
And, I mean, we've talked enough about Hoxer and Andy. They're incredible. But there are a lot of people on this West roster, a lot of players who are top 5 in different categories. Woozy is top 5 in assists, and it's coming in at number 3 with 25. I mean, obviously, you've got Andy leading in most things, but Creed RL is 8th in goals and 2nd in assists with 26. So really, you know, there's a lot of competition, a lot of stats on this Western team.
A ton of talent, right? A lot of stats, a lot of highly touted stats, you know, top 5 in the PEC. They've got 10 total players on this roster that sit top 5 in some respective stat, whether it be goals, assists, saves, demos, what have you. They are very well presented in the upper echelon stats, the West, that is. I want to highlight Woozy. Here he is, a member of the Boise State Broncos, and the Broncos, along with the Cornhuskers of Nebraska and the Spartans of Michigan State, were here for PEC opening weekend, a fantastic event. Woozy took home the PEC opening weekend MVP. He put on an amazing display, a ton of saves, a ton of goals, but more importantly, like you said, is assists. This Boise State team, led by Doc Haskell, they are equipped to go back-to-back. They won in 2024, 2025, and it was a dominant display, and a huge reason why is Woozy. He has carried that momentum perfectly into this season, and he's done so on the ball, but more importantly, mentioning that assist marker, like you said, he's done it off the ball as well.
I want to take a look, Rowan, now at predictions.
Sure.
What do you think is going to happen tonight?
It's tough to say anything that goes against the West. I mean, 10 top 5 stats and just 1 for the East. My heartstrings are pulling at the East because they've got our guy, Gababy.
Of course.
I mean, he's
and you know
such
he
a
can
legend.
make
Look at him
anything
sitting
happen.
over there. What a fantastic guy. He can make anything happen. He's studded. I'm going to say in this best of 7 matchup, I'm going to give it to the West, a 4-2 win. I'm going to give some edge to the East in terms of taking 2 games. I think that's a little optimistic. But it's Fall Stars. There's no reason not to be optimistic. This is a lovely event. Let's be optimistic. 4-2 West.
4-2 West. I like that prediction, Rowan. But I think, you know what? If there's anybody who's going to be able to make some magic happen, it's, of course, Opbom and Drewy, both with over $10,000 in career earnings.
Wow.
But you know who else it is?
Who?
It's Gababy.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, I'm going to say it, Easton 7.
Wow. Easton 7. All right.
That's my prediction.
So you think that they're going to go with Opbom, Drewy, and Gababy as the starting three?
If I had to put out a starting lineup, that's what I would do. You know, I assume there's going to be rotations.
Yeah.
It's the All-Star game. Get everybody into play.
Let everyone eat.
But, you know, and of course I'm biased towards Gababy as a Syracuse fan, but those are the three that I would put out there. Michigan State is an excellent team, excellent program.
Yeah, Opbom and Drewy, I mean, they've been flowing since the start of the year. There's really has not been a moment where they've looked off, them and that entire Michigan State squad. I haven't seen really a single blemish, and it's very deserving to have both of them here. It's rare to have a school represented in two players. We see that in Michigan State, and we also see it in Baylor. But Drewy and Opbom absolutely deserving to be here. And I know Gababy's excited. Like we said, he played with Opbom earlier in the year. But this is an opportunity for him to really get familiar with a lot of these other guys and just get a feel for them, both on the field, but also just how they are as people. It's always more fun when you kind of have a sort of respect for your opponents.
And I wonder if there's anything that they can take from this match into the spring semester, anything about how they play, any tape that you can watch after this to say, he does that a lot, and I noticed that while I was playing with him that I might not have necessarily noticed when he was against me.
That's a great point. It's kind of like Team USA Basketball Olympics.
Right.
I mean, those guys they're spending hours together practicing and what have you. Or the All-Star weekend, they're together for the whole weekend. But this is a little flavor of that, a little garnish of what some more professional, conventional sports All-Star games are like. And they spend time together, get a better feel of what they're doing on the court. You're right, they could capitalize. As we head into the spring, they could.
Hopefully no Jason Tatum's out here. We'll see.
Right.
Sitting on the bench the whole time.
that would really be unfortunate. What a shame. Poor Jason Tatum.
I think he's okay.
He's all right.
Now he's not with the Achilles tear, but
right.
Oh, we're flying over the arena.
Flying over Champions Field. Obviously, the Eggs came to support. I mean, a packed-out stadium. How could you not? It's Fall Stars.
You think they grabbed burgers beforehand?
100% they grabbed burgers beforehand. What was that place on the wall? Do you remember what it was called?
I can't remember.
I don't remember what it was called, but it looked fantastic.
You were talking about it while we were checking. It's Jimmy's Burgers.
Jimmy's Burgers. God, how could I forget? What a great place.
It's a titan of the industry.
So I'm sure the Eggs are filled with Jimmy's Burgers. You wanted to get wings before this.
I did. I was thinking about it, but at the end of the day, why hurt my wallet? I got leftovers.
Top 3 wings.
Like flavors?
Yeah.
Flavors.
Barbecue would be a flavor of wings that you could rank.
Well, but you could also go like wings like where you can get wings.
No.
Okay. I would say in my top 3 wings are lemon pepper dry rub. I love a lemon pepper dry rub. The secret is you dip it in a side of barbecue sauce and then the ranch.
Understood. Well,
we're getting into it.
Unfortunately, Wings Talk has expired, and the only thing left to do is play some Fall Stars Rocket League, the most upper echelon of the Power Esports Conference here today. 10 seconds underway to Game 1 in this best of 7. Gababy from Syracuse. Now here's Andy flying high of the Baylor Bears. It's stuffed by Opbom. Beautiful play. Now in the corner, centering pass. Nope, that's going to be pinched into the neutral zone. Here's Gaines flying high. Woozy makes the deflection. A stud out of Boise State, tied for the second most goals in the PEC is Woozy. He's tied with his teammate Dirt, though. So the Boise State Broncos really bringing a ton of offense to the conference. That one's off the glass. Now flying high as Andy drops it down, but it's saved by Opbom, the Michigan State Spartan, who's joined by Drewy, his fellow teammate. Andy can't quite seal it. The Baylor Bear, he's joined by Hoxer.
Yeah, Rowan, I'm interested about the starting lineups here. You've got Woozy playing, which, we expected, and you've got Andy, and then the last West player is Gaines, or Creed, excuse me, which I'm not sure we expected.
No, not at all. Creed out of Nebraska, the 8th most goals in the PEC with 24 and 20 saves to go with it. So really the absolute engine of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, as Creed just shoots one wide. Can't quite seal the first goal of the contest. Bomb flicks it towards the net, but the Bronco Woozy makes the play.
And then for the East, you've got Gaines in from Ohio State University.
Right, Gaines.
The Ohio State University, excuse me.
That's right. Ohio State, top seed in college football.
That's
right
true.
now. Just took down the Wolverines of
That was
Michigan.
a great save.
That was a
from
great
Gababy there.
save. That's right. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Gaines flying high. Some good saves here from the orange squad, which is representing the East, and the West in blue. Creed can't quite get to that one, but Woozy's going to follow up and keep applying pressure on this East net. But they've done a fantastic job holding down the fort as we are just over 2 minutes in.
Yeah, Gababy's been very solid at the back, but Oppom has been flying in, making pretty incredible saves, now moving the ball forward.
See, now this is tough, and I'm sure, Jack, what I expect is around game 5 or 6, the chemistry of these guys will start to improve, and the fluidity of the ball movement, that'll start to ramp up. Most of these guys haven't played with each other, so
Absolutely.
This is a little awkward, I would imagine.
And I do want to see if Gababy and Oppom maybe have a little better communication since they've queued together before.
That's right. Here's Gaines' ball. Andy makes it a 50 and puts it off the glass. Now it's headed towards the neutral zone. Gaines Woozy's the first man back. He'll make a centering pass. Here's Gababy with a soft touch in the air, but Andy's going to go off the backboard and pop it away. Now back into the corner. It's Woozy with half a tank. Little bit of boost, flips it towards the middle. Gababy, there's a pass to Gaines, but it's just wide. He'll retreat up to the glass. A little bit of boost. Here's a pass opportunity for him. No, Andy intercepts.
And that miscommunication there, Gababy to Gaines, is kind of what you were just talking about with the chemistry. It needs to develop a little bit.
That one's off the glass, and Woozy goes ahead and puts it off the side. Creed with a good amount of boost to make a play. There's one, can't get two. Oppom gets in the way. 26 saves on the year for Oppom. He leads his Spartans.
Oh, that was a really nice play from Gababy off the ceiling to get that out of that goal mouth area.
A minute 30 to play, 2 goose eggs on the scoreboard. It's been a game of defense as Woozy annihilates Oppom, his 42nd demo of the year.
And I don't think that's surprising, Rowan. With the chemistry that needs to develop, you're going to have less offense, more defense. Defense is kind of, it's very difficult to make a singular offensive play. There are people who can do it, of course, Lesser from Syracuse,
Sure.
But it's difficult with this level of competition.
Right, everyone's locked in. Everything is so sharp as Gababy has to make a play, and that he does. There's another save. Now Andy will send it right back. 60 seconds to go. We're still awaiting our first goal of game 1. Oppom and Creed get at it in the neutral zone, and Oppom drifts it towards the western net. Now here's Andy off the back wall, and Gababy meets him in the mid-corner. Excuse me, not mid-corner, just the side. Oppom drops it down. There's the first goal at A, and it only took 4 minutes and 18 seconds. The Michigan State Spartan gets us started.
And it was just a little bit of a light touch. Creed didn't expect that to come back. Oppom punished off the ceiling.
28 goals on the year for Oppom. That's 5th in the PEC. Scoring is his forte, and he showed it right there. 38 seconds to play. The East holds a 1-0 lead, but not anymore. Creed, a rapid response. We're knotted at 1.
And you're going to want to take a look right here. Gababy coming in and just Woozy pokes it by him off the wall. Really good play from Woozy to keep it out of his reach. And it was punished.
Creed, very familiar with getting work done himself. 24 goals on the year. That's 8th in the PEC. Holds a strong lead over his fellow Cornhusker teammates, and 20 assists. That's 5th in the conference. Just under 30 seconds to go. We are tied 1-1 in this best of 7. Oppom, almost a flashy play himself, but can't quite get it through the teeth of the defense. Gaines up on the side. Gababy's got enough boost to do something. Instead, he'll opt to pass. Just a bit wide for Oppom to take control of, and Woozy will assume position with 8 seconds to go. 7 now. Here we go. In the corner. Shot on net from Andy. Just drops it low. Gababy puts it high. Creed in the air. Drops it off the glass. Woozy in the net. Game 1 to the West.
That was incredible, Rowan. Some last-minute heroics from the Bronco.
Woozy well aware of what's going on, where the ball is. It was Creed and him to get the only 2 Western goals. And they're going to take this one 2-1. Wow, that did not disappoint for game one, Jay.
And it was a defensive-minded game, Rowan. People were making saves everywhere, flying off the walls. I'd love to see a little bit more fluidity passing in this game, too. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing develop.
And I agree with you. It's very tough to ask for it when these guys have never played together. But what separates these folks from the rest of the PEC is they're fall stars. They're the best of the best. If anyone knows how to communicate, how to clean off the blemishes, it's these guys. They've led their teams to success, and it should be no different here. I'm very excited to see that happen because it's what needs to happen if you want to win these games. And the West started to do that a little bit. That was a really nice assist. I'm sure there was communication as that ball was coming off the glass. I'm sure Woozy called it out very loudly. He's a great guy, and he showed it there.
And
really solid goal.
I thought the East had it. When they snuck that goal in, went up 1-0, I thought that was going to be it. I thought that, they could just kind of play the same good defense they've been playing for the rest of the match, and Woozy made a really nice play on that first goal, snuck it by Gababy. It was immediately punished, and at the scrum at the end of the game, anything can happen.
So many almosts in game one. I'll be curious to see if any of those turn into goals. Just 3 so far collectively. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a game that gets really high on the scoreboard.
I'd also love to see what they do with the rotations here in this game too, Rowan. I'm looking to see maybe they'll put a second Baylor Bear in. Maybe we'll get to see both Spartans in for the East. I don't know. I'm interested to see, but I thought that Gaines and Creed. Brain left me there, but I thought Gaines and Creed played very well, and they were the ones that we weren't sure whether they were going to start.
That's right. Gaines on the number 7 Ohio State University, and Creed on Nebraska, the 8 seed in the PEC. Both of them played. For the West that time around, it was Woozy, Creed, and Hoxer. And then for the East, it was Gababy, Gaines, and Opbomb. So I'm curious to see if those lineups will change. Obviously, if you're going for a more competitive mindset, you might throw in the double Michigan State Spartans. They've got a ton of chemistry. Same with the double Baylor Bears. But if you want, if you want everyone to eat, this lineup should switch around.
Yeah, I think that's what the point of this event is. It's supposed to be a celebration
100%.
of Rocket League. It's supposed to be a celebration of what the season has been so far. And so I think I'd like to see everybody get to play, although I would like for at least one match, see the pairings get in there, see if they can wreak some havoc.
Me as well. It's been a blast watching them all year, and I know we're here for different reasons. We've already seen those two folks play together on Michigan State and on Baylor, but good Rocket League is good Rocket League. You just can't pass it up.
That was a ton of fun, that first game, and I like a defensive Rocket League game. The goals all flying in, it's all well and good, but at the end of the day, I love a nice, hard, nails defensive battle.
Yes, hard-nosed. You love to see it. That one, again, the final score, 2-1. The West took it, so they hold a 1-0 series lead on the East. This is a best of 7, though, so that's first to 4 wins. And who sealed that winning goal, it was Woozy of Boise State, the reigning Rocket League champions. They currently sit as the 2 seed in the PEC, the 1 seed held by the Baylor Bears.
And Baylor, a new team, so who knows? At the end of the year in Vegas, it's going to be more difficult for Boise to repeat with that Baylor squad.
That's right.
They're incredible.
That's right. New teams in the PEC, Baylor one of them, and they have been showing their stuff. Undefeated so far this year. It's just an unbelievable showing. They've got 2 pro players and another one who's been on the roster for a long time. And, the Baylor staff, they've been trying to see, maybe try to replace him, try to figure it out, maybe get someone has a little more competitive experience. But he's really held his own. JT, I believe, is the name. And he's done a great job holding his own against 2 guys who have a ton of tournament earnings, a ton of tournament experience. He has held his own and showed that he can hang with the big guys.
And his role, they kind of have him out there as a gunner almost.
Yeah.
He is out there and he is demoing. He is keeping the other team shorthanded, distracted constantly, and it really allows the other 2 to flourish, kind of get to play the way that they want to.
He's been great this year. Meave's been great. I really want to see Meave get in. Kansas is a team that, at least for Syracuse, Kansas gave us a little bit of a scare.
I wasn't on that game, Rowan.
Right. Well, I was on that game. I'll tell you
about
it.
it.
They gave us a little bit of a scare. We went to 4 games, and it was exciting. They showed a lot of offensive strengths. It was a team that could move the rock really well, and there was a moment where Syracuse had to be 4 or 5 shots on net, and the Jayhawks defense was just insufferable. They were so tight. They locked it down, and they're a two-sided team that does really well, and Meave is the one that spearheads that.
And so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to step aside for a moment. We will be right back with more Fall Stars action. Best of 7. West leads 1-0. We'll see you in a moment. We're back for Game 3 of PEC Fall Stars action. In the game that we missed, the East came back and tied the series up. So it's 1-1 East-West heading into Game 3. And we missed the second game because of some tech issues. But we're back now, and we're ready for Game 3.
I wish I could comment on Game 2 and say, some stuff, but I'm sure it was great.
I'm sure it was incredible.
I'm sure it was the best game ever. But I believe it was a 1-0 win from East, and so they took that one. So now we're knotted at 1-1, and that gives me some real promise that this is going to be a competition. We were talking about how the West is statistically a little more dominant than the East. They have more players that chart in the top percentage of PEC stats, more so than the East. But they held their own in Game 2.
Yeah, exactly. And it was another defensive battle, Rowan.
Right. Low scoring.
At least from what we can discern. So I think that, the chemistry is still growing. But, the rotational chemistry is something that you have to think about. And that seems to be pretty strong.
Yeah, if we look back to Game 1, that was something that we wanted to see a little bit more of, the rotations. And Game 2, while we didn't see it, if we were to assume, they're getting more comfortable with each other. I mean, reps, whether they're good or bad, they're reps, and it usually means you're getting more comfortable. So I assume in Game 3 we could see a little more polished rotations, maybe a little more goals.
Well,
just
the
more
defensive
things clicking.
rotations have been polished.
The defensive rotations have been
but
great,
the
sure.
offensive rotations
That's
need to be a little bit better.
Right. The defense has been great, as we see with the low score. 2 games underway and just 4 combined goals.
And Gababy already called into action for a save. Now shoots it forward. Creed coming across the net, makes a nice save, kicks it into the corner, now trying to take it out. Pi centers it back into the middle, but Woozy is there to collect. Taken off of the dome of Woozy by Andy, but he's stuffed by Gababy. Drewy now trying to take it forward past Creed, but Creed is right there to meet him. Gababy has an opportunity, sends it through the neutral zone into the right-hand corner. Drewy picks it up where it was left by Andy, tips it over Woozy, and Pi is there to collect with a full tank of boost, trying to make something happen, drops it down off the wall, but Woozy is able to clear. Drewy knocks it into the middle, but Creed is there. Gababy unable to make anything happen, but Pi keeps it from going past midfield. Woozy knocks it into the corner. Good defensive stop, but he is immediately demolished by Drewy. Gababy has a full tank of boost, but can't do anything with it. Pi knocks it forward. No boost off the ceiling, but Gababy and Drewy double commit. Andy all alone, just going to be able to tap it in, and a miscommunication leads to a double commit and a West goal.
Yeah, that's Andy's second goal today. He's been doing a brunt of the offense for this West squad. But yeah, like you said, it was just a double commit. And these guys are all-stars. They're going to capitalize on the openings, and that they did.
Face-off, Creed appears to win it, but Gababy is there with a full tank of boost to meet it. He's met by Woozy in the air, and Andy takes it off the hood of Pi. Drewy has a full tank of boost in the corner, and he is able to take it forward. Gababy into the corner, flipped up towards the center, but Andy clears it again. Pi knocks it into the corner yet again, and Woozy is there to make it a 50. Drewy up the sidewall, knocks it into the middle, good pass towards Gababy, but he can't meet it. Pi hits it into the west end. Woozy off the back wall, knocks it back away towards that neutral zone. Creed now gonna have to do some work to clear it. Nice handoff to Andy. Gababy meets it, sends it into the corner. Drewy, full tank of boost. Woozy gonna try and get up to meet him, but Drewy nearly makes him pay. Just flicked away.
That's an opportunity where the window was just so small. It would have been amazing, but the swarming defense from the West was just too much to handle.
Gababy knocks it forward. Andy and Woozy gonna have to deal with it. Knocked into the corner near Andy. Gababy makes a 50 with absolutely no boost. Really nice play from him. And Pi meets it at midfield. Creed. And Gababy's going to take a shot on a wide open net. My goodness. And he makes it a 2-1 East lead. Excuse me, a 1-1.
Solid shot from Gababy. He put it right in the corner, and that placement is what you want out of your fall stars. Shooting a ball on net is one thing, but putting it in the right spot of the net where no one is, now that's gonna get you goals.
And just a couple of almost defensive miscommunications. There wasn't really anybody back for that shot, and it was a failed 50 at midfield. Drewy now takes it out of his own corner, launches it up to Gababy, who has a full tank of boost, trying to create centers for Pi. Shoots wide across the face of the goal. Drewy in the corner now. Creed meets him, but it's back to Gababy, trying to flick it up for Drewy, but Andy gets the better of it. Pi now flicking it towards the goal. Just good save from Creed there.
I liked that, though. What I saw out of Drewy is he went for a bump on the person that was in the net. That's an example of these teams starting to gel together. There's clear communication happening. There's teammates looking out for each other off the ball. You see that a lot in these well-polished teams, and we're already starting to see it here in Game 3.
A Gababy flick to Drewy is denied by Andy coming across the face of the goal, and Andy has a full tank of boost. Gababy gonna have to make a nice play, and he will. Double commit, though. Drewy came across the face of him. Gababy with another save.
Just in the right place at the right time. Really didn't have to move a lot. He redirected it well, and now the East have a little bit of offensive momentum.
And Pi is going to go for a pinch off the wall. Creed's going to meet it in the middle and send it back out. Drewy with another opportunity. Now it's back towards Woozy. Gababy just nearly gets back for it. Was lucky that it was off target. Creed with a shot on net, no good. Andy coming back across, and Pi with the drop down save. Pi now looking to turn defense into offense, but Woozy got back quickly.
What a save from Pi. the East was incredibly outnumbered there with 2 of their 3 players demoed into oblivion, but Pi from the heavens made that play.
Nice pinch back towards Creed. It's going to make a little bit of offense for the West. Drewy flicks it forward now, though. Gababy looking to try and meet it. Doesn't quite get there. Andy in the corner. No, he can make some magic, but Gababy is able to collect. Woozy trying to make it difficult, but Gababy keeps his possession. Now over to Pi in the middle. Back to Drewy. Drewy with a shot on net, but Andy is right there to meet it. Andy now flicking it forward, but Gababy comes across the goal and a little bit of a pinch save, a double commit there.
What a great save from Andy on that last possession. He knew that there was going to be hesitation, that it wasn't exactly going to be on net, and he held up with such patience and made the save.
Pi clanks one off the post. Drewy does well to keep it in the offensive zone for the East. Gababy into Pi, but not quite on target with the pass. Now Creed knocking it forward, looking to make a little magic, but it'll hit the ground. We'll go to overtime.
Our first one of the day, Jack. That first game almost went to overtime, but a buzzer beater goal from Woozy put it past us. Now we're here in extras.
And we're immediately got Pi taking it across midfield, trying to drop it into the net, but Woozy is there to meet it. Drewy gonna knock it into the corner, try and get a centering ball to Gababy, which he will. Gababy, oh my goodness, what a save from Andy. Drewy trying to finish, denied yet again by Woozy. Now Andy's gonna try and go the other way, but Gababy is there to meet it. High octane stuff here in overtime.
These are the Fall Stars. They're here for a reason. What defensive brilliance from both sides.
And Andy yet again, another incredible save. Now trying to take it forward into the offensive zone, looking for a pass to Woozy. Doesn't quite get it, but Woozy meets the deflection. Pi trying to make something out of nothing there in the corner. Didn't get it. Creed knocks it into the middle. Gababy is there, now going to take things across midfield, immediately demolished. Going to have to defend shorthanded. Gababy is now back. Drewy in the air. Woozy going to take a shot just wide.
I'm sure Woozy would have loved to have that one back. That's an angle that he can make.
Drewy in the corner, trying to get it out past Creed. Really, the whole West team is over on this left-hand side right now. Drewy gonna knock it forward yet again. Gababy tries to get a little flick on, but doesn't quite get it. Woozy now taking it forward down the side, looking for a centering ball, but Pi is there to meet it. Andy off the sidewall, down, knocked into the middle, and a good save from Gababy. Drewy gonna have to take it forward yet again. Doesn't have a ton of offensive help, and Woozy is there. Pi gonna follow it up, good rotation. Gababy now in the air, but Andy is going to be right there. Drewy looking to hit it off the ceiling. Woozy reads it very well, is patient, takes a second. Pi, good pass to Drewy, knocks it forward into the corner, but Andy meets it forward yet again. Good offensive rotation from Gababy, goes for the pinch, he's got it! The hometown hero gives the East the lead, 2-1. Gababy, a nice pinch off the ground, was right where he needed to be. Great offensive rotations, a 2-1 victory, and a 2-1 series lead for the East.
What an exciting game. There's nothing like overtime, nothing like Rocket League overtime, waiting for that goal. And trying, I was thinking this all through overtime, trying to score a goal on these guys, it's like trying to thread a needle. It's just so tight. The saves are so on time. Everyone is almost always where they need to be, and if they're not, they've got a studded Fall Star to back them up. It's just so hard to find an opening, and somehow these guys do it. Gababy, a fantastic job there, really utilizing his mechanics, which we don't see a lot. We see a lot of, bare bones, just really good fundamental play from Gababy, but that ground pinch, that did the job. He showed up in this game.
Yeah, 2 goals, and they were both placed just far enough across the goal from whoever was defending back post, as you saw right there, that they just snuck in. And that's, he's got one of the highest Rocket League IQs I've ever seen. Highest gaming IQs. Kid's great at chess. Kid's great at Clash Royale. He is incredible at pretty much anything you can put him on. But it displayed there his game IQ, his game sense.
That was just so solid. It was a great display from both sides. I've been loving the competitive nature that we had. I came into this, I said West in 6, and while that's not super far off, the East have a lead. 2-1. So to go with my prediction, it's It's actually not looking very good.
No, I said East in 7 row.
Yeah, and you're looking great
I'd say
here.
that's a far more likely outcome right now.
It totally is. They're doing a good job. I love how even these matchups are. It just makes for great Rocket League. I hope we can catch Game 4.
And I like to see the rotations, the different people who get to play. We've seen pretty much even. Like, everybody has gotten to play so far. I assume there were some rotations in Game 2 as well that we didn't get to see. Take it away.
We just turned around to Gababy there. He let out a smile before the clock hit 5 minutes, but wow, Op-Bomb wasting no time to get us started.
Yeah, and I'm not sure Gababy is playing in this one. It seems Gaines, Op-Bomb, and one more mystery player for the East. Oh, there he is. Never mind. It's Gababy. I just couldn't see him at the beginning there.
It's all good. Branch, Hoxer, and Meave, the 3 for the West. Meave from Kansas, Hoxer from Baylor, and Branch out of Utah. That's way west.
Yeah, that is a
from where we are. At
of
least.
course. I mean, we are one of the furthest east teams in the PEC.
Syracuse, New York, big central New York City. A lot of snow. It's already started snowing here. If you walk outside the Shine Gaming and Esports Center, you get blasted with a lovely wave of snow. I think we're getting like 3 to 6 inches tomorrow. Fun fact.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So bundle up.
They won't cancel class, though.
No, never. Oh, man. There's Gababy doing it on both ends. 1-0 game here. The East in orange up with about 4:15 to play. 45 seconds already. It was Op-Bomb who got the action started for the East. 28 goals on the regular season. That's 5th in the PEC. Doing his job on offense and is doing nothing short today. There's Branch competing for a 50, drops down in the neutral zone. A double commit there from the East. Let's see if the West can take advantage. Looks like not. That ball's flying high. Meave goes for the flip reset, doesn't get it, and Gaines puts it out of play. But Branch is there to follow it up. Now drop to the corner, a safe zone for the East, and they will take advantage. A hard hit, but no one with enough boost to follow. Might want to regain possession and slow the game down a little bit, but no, that one's off the top. Gaines nearly drops it on Hoxer, but he's there to stuff it. Hoxer now advancing the ball for his offense. That one's shot towards the center, but Gaines with a full tank is there to make a play. Now he's flying high above the wall, ready for a 50 with Meave, and it goes sky high.
And the East has kind of regained a lot of boost here, now able to put some pressure on the West, as you can see they're doing here. Good offensive rotations. And the regaining of possession as Gababy clangs one off the post was really important, allowed them to kind of shore up.
Meave lobbed one to Op-Bomb there, not the cleanest clear he was hoping for. Now Branch stuck in the air, ball kind of floating in no man's land. Op-Bomb gets to it first, but Hoxer second and in time. Now Gababy misses it. Op-Bomb's got possession, dumps it off to Gaines with no boost. Here's the redirect to the corner. Meave sends it to Op-Bomb, dangerous area, just past Gababy.
It's just not quite the pass. You know, it was close. If you put it on target there, that's a great ball, and Gababy can probably finish, but just a little behind him.
1-0 as we approach the halfway point. It's the East with a lead in this game, but also in the series. 2-1, West trails. Hoxer coming up on it. Op-Bomb, the first man up, makes the stop. Now it's Meave and him fighting for possession. Gababy will make the clear. Branch intercepts the centering pass. It's back to the safe corner. And now the East are going to have to retreat.
Oh, that's a dangerous play by Gababy. Just kind of knocked it down in a place that was pretty vulnerable, and they're paying for it now. Good clearance there, though.
No one back from the West. Oh, no, Branch is there, and Meave's trailing with a full tank. And Hoxer, boy, how quickly they recover.
It's one of the most important things, I feel like, in competitive Rocket League is just your speed of recovery. Your ability to get back when you're low on boost.
Meave, full boost. Well, not anymore. 37, drops it down. Op-Bomb, shot to the corner. He follows it, but to no avail. Now it's Gaines looking to slip one in, but Hoxer says no thanks. Now Branch will follow. Beats Gababy with a full tank. That'll give a little bit of time for these West folks to stall and recuperate. 1-0 as we hit 90 seconds here in Game 4. 2-1 lead for the East. Op-Bomb, centering pass. Gababy gets in the way, but Meave with good positioning. Out goes Gababy. He'll be stalled for a little bit. Now he spawns in with 33 boost.
And, you know, it can, in a way, be a reprieve, a way to get boost back if you are demolished. But those 2 seconds that you're gone are just unforgivable.
It's risky. 1:05 to go. Gababy demoed once again. All 3 Western men on the offense, and Hoxer will put it through. We're knotted 1-1 with 1:03 to play. A beautiful play from Hoxer.
I mean, that's Hoxer showing exactly why he's one of the best players in the country. 4th in goals, 2nd in assists, and just put the team on his back right there.
He's really an everyman, and he showed right there a clutch goal for the West. They're now within reach as we hit the minute mark in Game 4. Opbom drops it to the side. No one to follow, though, and Opbom will say goodbye to Meave for a little bit.
I mean, if you can't keep the ball in front of you, just demo the closest person.
Right. Find a way to be productive. 45 seconds to go. Meave's got it with no boost. A 50 kind of goes no one's way, but Hoxer with the boost advantage. He'll take it. 50-50 back to the corner. If we head to overtime like we did in Game 3, it'll be golden goals. The next goal wins as we hit 30 seconds to go in Game 4. Opbom following Meaves flying through the sky. Makes the stop a little bit, and now pushing towards the eastern side, it's the Western crew. Opbom and Brange. No, not going to jostle for it. Brange instead opts to get a full tank of boost, as does Hoxer, who comes in through the sky. Wow, a ton of boost here for the West, and they're flying in. Gets past Kababy, there's one. Meave can't scoot it around Opbom for 2. Now flying to the sky. Opbom to Kababy, drops it down. Yes! A little give and go action from the east. The Michigan State to Syracuse connection.
Hey, and you know what, Rowan? We mentioned it before the game, and it happened. Those two have queued together before, and they showed it there. Incredible. And Kababy with just the smart touch. Wow.
It's so pretty to see unselfish play, and it paid off. Passing pays dividends, and that's exactly how the East walked out with a win here. A 3-1 lead over the West, a 2-1 win in that game. Opbom doing the work on offense with both goals, and an assist for Kababy. Gaines as well chipping in with an assist. An all-team win for the East there, but really that was just a fantastic goal to close things off with a second remaining. A lot of last-second goals so far, too, I believe, 2 of the 4 games. Right, you're right. What a beautiful goal that was to seal things off. It's the East with a 3-1 lead over the West, and that extended that way courtesy of Kababy and Opbom. Kababy, the leader of the Syracuse Orange, his 2nd year with SU, and Opbom, just a stud for the Spartans, has really done it all. 5th in the PEC in goals with 28 of them. He showed why right there.
And Kababy is showing out this tournament. He is showing, hey, we're hosting, Syracuse is hosting this thing. Let's put on a show. He had 2 goals in the last game, and then he had the beautiful assist, one of the most beautiful assists I've seen him make in this past game. Currently, he's my Fall Stars MVP.
I would agree. I mean, we're a little biased, but I would still agree. That soft touch that he had back to Opbom, it's so hard to do that regardless if you're on the ground, but when you're in the air, you just have a little less control of your car. You're reliant on gravity. You only have so much boost. There's a ton of variables, and Kababy was able to harness that and drop down the perfect pass in the right spot at the right speed at the right time. Everything just clicked for the East on that game.
And it's close enough to 0 seconds. They had about half a second left after that, where you can't have it hit the ground either, or the game will end.
That's right.
He put it right on the hood of Opbom's car.
So we'll head into Game 5. It's a 3-1 East lead over the West, best of 7. So the West have their backs against the wall. But these are the Fall Stars. They know how to deal with pressure. It makes diamonds, or it just knocks you out.
Now, and I wonder if we'll see a little double Baylor action today. Let's take a look. You've got Drewy, Pye, and Opbom, so double Michigan State. You've got Woozy, Hoxer, and Andy. That, my goodness, that double Baylor connection. So it's double Baylor versus double Michigan State here, and this is going to be interesting. Pye.
The 2 Baylor Bears, Andy and Hoxer of the West. And on the East, the 2 Michigan State Spartans, it's Opbom, who we saw in Game 3, and Drewy.
And Woozy already playing that role that, you know, they kind of have for Baylor, which is Gunner. He's already got a demolition here. It's Pye who's going to go up and meet Woozy, manages to knock it into the corner, but Hoxer's got a lot of boost. So does Drewy. He manages to clear it out, only as far as Andy, who knocks it into the corner. Woozy takes it off the back wall, misses it, leaves it maybe for Hoxer, but Drewy chops it down. Pye takes it off of that side wall and manages to beat Hoxer in a 1v1. Opbom going up for it, doesn't quite get it, not enough boost.
What I'll be curious to see here is how Woozy on the West and Pi of the East deal with having two teammates on the same university. They're kind of the odd ones out here, Woozy and Pi. They don't go to Michigan State or Baylor. So how are they going to fare with two guys who just have so many hours together?
Knocks down for Woozy by Andy. And Op-Bomb nearly makes him pay. Double tap off the wall. Can't quite get it. Now Woozy manages to take it forward only as far as Drewy. Pi's going to go up for it, but leaves it for Andy. Knew he had no chance at that one. Drewy knocks it up. Good amount of boost. Going to try and make something happen. Gets the flip reset, but doesn't quite get it past Hoxer. Hoxer now going to take it forward. Flying high in the air. Pi meets him, but manages to sneak past. Now Op-Bomb with almost full boost. Beats Woozy in the air. Woozy knocks it into that safe zone in the corner. Drewy flying by Hoxer, but Pi is there to make the defensive recycle. Up to Op-Bomb in the middle, and a bit of a miscommunication. Nobody quite got a solid touch on that one.
Yeah, that's kind of the first of the game. Both these teams have been so tight.
Oh my goodness,
game.
Pi sneaks it into that top corner. Wow, in a play that we thought wasn't really going anywhere, Drewy knocked it down, opted to leave it for Pi, and Pi with no boost sneaks it by Hoxer at the close end.
No boost and really not a great angle either. I mean, it was just so tight. You got to put that in such a specific section, and Pi showing that he deserves to be here.
Hoxer now taking it forward, leaves it for Andy. That connection just fires wide. Andy misses the double tap. Drewy needs to clear now. No boost though. Needs to collect some boost as well. Woozy knocks it towards the middle. Op-Bomb is there to clear, but Andy, a good rotation. Drewy with full boost. Maybe needs to get it out a little further so that everybody can take a second. Op-Bomb now knocks it forward. Somebody's got to be there. It's Woozy, the Bronco. Now Pi knocks it into the corner, trying to get a centering ball, but Andy is there to meet it. Op-Bomb chips it into the middle, but Andy meets him yet again. Hoxer tips that one forward past Drew. Beats Pi as well, but now no boost. Op-Bomb flies from the other side of the map and knocks it away. Andy, though, putting some pressure on, trying to get a goal. Knocks it forward just off the crossbar.
Wow, what a shot. He generated so much velocity with that flip. Just couldn't quite find the accuracy.
Hoxer looking to make a little something out of nothing, but no boost means nothing is all he will make out of that nothing. Hoxer tips it forward yet again for Andy. Andy looking for a ball, maybe into Woozy, leaves it for him. Shot on net, he's got it! Woozy, Andy, nice little connection. Hoxer up to Andy, Andy leaves it, Woozy punishes.
And there's that precision passing that we saw from Baby and Op-Bomb earlier on, but this time happening on the other side. These guys know how to move.
And those guys are not teammates. No boost for anybody here off the face-off. Op-Bomb makes a nice connection. As I was saying, though, these guys are not teammates, and they made an incredible play. Woozy said, leave it for me, I got it. Pi now looking to make a defensive clear, doesn't get it. Hoxer manages to outclass Hoxer with a good chance, and he'll get it by everybody. Just like that, this game is flipped on its head. 2-1 West. 90 seconds to play.
That was quick.
I mean, that was about 20 seconds of play, Rowan. And just completely turned this thing around. Face-off incoming. Andy and Op-Bomb go for it. Drewy takes it off the secondary. And it's in the blue territory pretty safely. Hoxer flips it forward. Woozy now going to try and make a little offense. Tips it off the back wall. He's met there by an East player. Now it's Hoxer looking to come forward with it. Bumps Pi on his way through. But Op-Bomb and Drewy both have full boost. Somebody's got to take care of it, and Drewy eventually will. Hoxer meets it right around midfield, now trying to make a little magic happen. Tucks it into Andy, my goodness! The Baylor Bears are roaring here. A beautiful connection from the two. It's 3-1 with just under a minute to play.
That was disgusting. That was unbelievable. What a pass. So precise. These guys, I could never do this. My Diamond 2 self could never do this.
I mean, I don't think just about anybody in the world could. Those are two professional Rocket League players out there. Hoxer flips it up, but this time Drewy is there to meet it. No such luck on the passing play. Woozy, though, takes it past midfield. Pi only able to knock it into the corner where Hoxer is going to meet him. Boy, that's terrifying. Hoxer coming up right behind you, but he doesn't have any boost, and so Drewy will clear. Got 30 seconds to get a couple of goals if the East wants to keep this thing, or excuse me, win this series. Woozy knocks it down. Woozy tips it across the goal, and that feels like the dagger.
Yeah, let's check out this angle he had. Right, a really good angle. Directly in line with the goal.
Just about 0-degree shot, Rowan.
That is just incredible. Slowly but surely, just creeps it in, and now this is a big lead here.
My goodness, what a save from Hoxer after what seemed like a surefire goal right off the face-off, but no, was not going to get it. Scrum around the goal, and that ball was traveling fast, travels all the way back into the West defensive end. It's just looking to kind of end this thing out right now. Drewy tips it into the middle, looking for some consolation, and Opbomb will get it. The two Spartans combining for a late goal, but I don't think it's going to mean much.
No, that's a goal every 1.5 seconds. It's tall order, but shorten the damage.
Who knows? Anything can happen. But yeah, I mean,
these guys are fall stars. Anything can happen.
Of course. Woozy tips it towards that orange end, and this game is officially over. Woozy's gonna snag one more. Wow. Put that consolation goal. Should pretty much wipe it off. It's a 5-2 victory for the West here in Game 5, and it's 3-2, Rowan.
And that assembly of guys from the West, it was Hoxer and Andy, who are 1 and 2 in assists in the PEC, 4 and 1, Hoxer and Andy respectively, in goals in the PEC, and then it was Woozy who's second. That was the best combination statistically of guys on the West, and it showed. It was clear.
I mean, they were on each other. They knew exactly where everybody was going to be at all times. Some beautiful leave-offs, some beautiful mid-air passes like the one you just saw there. And then, I mean, this last goal from Woozy was just incredible. Snuck it right in. Incredible car control.
Now, here's the thing. If you are the West and you're coming at this with a more competitive mindset and not one where you want everybody to play, you want it to, you want everybody to have fun, but you want to win, you do that again.
You send the same lineup.
You send the exact same lineup. Those guys, you just saw how dominant they were, but you've seen how dominant they've been in the PEC all year. You have their stats. They pass the eye test. The mechanics are A1. Those are the best guys for the job on Michigan State and on Boise for the West.
You know, it's interesting, Rowan. That was the first game we've seen without Gababy.
That's right.
And in my opinion, it showed. They were less defensively sound, the East was, than they have been in past games.
I would agree. I think everything took a little bit of a halt there offensively and defensively. That definitely is a point of reason, and I'm sure with a little bit of a break, he'll be excited to hop back in.
Do a couple of finger stretches, get himself ready.
He's got a great pregame routine. He's always locked in, and then we pass by and we're like, hey. He's like, hey. I'm like, oh, all right, you're great.
Yeah, exactly. He's locked in, he's focused, but he's always down to chat.
Right. Great guy.
Before games, which is super helpful for us, gives us stuff to talk about, doesn't it?
So the lineup coming in, it's going to be Meave, Woozy, and Andy. So the West is going to swap out Hoxer for Meave of Kansas. So we won't have that duo of Baylor Bears anymore. But Meave, I mean, very solid, especially defensively. 57 saves on the year. That's the best in the PEC.
And we've got Gababy back in, Rowan. It's Gababy, Drewy, and Gaines, which was the lineup I believe they ran out for Game 1.
That's exactly correct.
Unless Opbomb was in there, and I'm mixing up the two Michigan State Spartans,
it was
which I definitely could be.
Opbomb, Gaines, and Gababy in Game 1. So Drewy's going to get some minutes here. 4:45 to play, 0-0 score. It's a 3-2 East lead in a best-of-5, and the action is not waiting for us.
Gababy with an immediate shot, and it just kind of tips away.
Here's a lob. A fast break opportunity for the East. Gababy can't quite put it on. The defense of the West very solid. Here's Drewy. Shot. Good. Oh, yeah. Clean plays from the East. Getting it started early. Something we haven't seen a lot of today. Drewy, just a fantastic angle. Sneaks it past Meave. No boost, can't make the play. 1-0 East.
That was, it's exactly what you want to start off with if you're the East trying to close this thing out, Rowan.
4:17 to go. Here's the face-off. Kind of in no one's favor. Drewy does as much as he can with no boost. Andy will take it from here. It's him and Gababy, the 1 and 2. Gababy launches it high. Very good placement there from the Syracuse Orange. Now it's Drewy of Michigan State and also Gaines on this East squad from Ohio State. That one lofted to the corner. Andy and Drewy fighting for it, and it's the East man who gets there first. Woozy follows it up, but it's Gababy there. A little give and go from both teams respectively. Not a ton of momentum going on right here in the East corner. Again, East in orange, West in blue.
That's tipped across the face by Andy, but nobody was there, Rowan.
Gababy, just an unfortunate touch of the tires on the ceiling, kind of threw him off. He had to abandon that play, but Meave will take it up the field. Now Gababy's back, drops down. Andy's going to get there. Here's one. He's got his flip. There's two. Sneaks it past one, but it's just wide.
And nobody's there to get those finishes is what I'm noticing for the West right now, and that's why they haven't been able to finish.
Wow, flying down. Drew cleaning up Gababy's mess. Gababy made a save earlier, but just couldn't follow it with his positioning. But this East squad got it down on offense early, and now just trying to preserve their lead on the defensive end.
That's a little terrifying when Andy's flying through the air at you, huh?
Gaines off to Drewy. Woozy gets there first. Here's Meave. Gababy denies. And Andy, the third Western man, it's his ball to play. Drops it down. Drew to Gababy, who's in the air. He makes the touch. Drew, not a lot of boost. Gababy's going to follow it for two. Demos Woozy. This ball's flying in a scary spot for the West, but Drew and Andy collide in the favor of the West.
There's nobody with any boost there for the West to get up for it.
Woozy, Gababy, shot on net. Meave, good positioning and good boost. Bumps out Gaines, and this one's cleared to the side. Gets it past Andy, there's one. Now Gababy, 50s for two. The second touch, pops it towards the center. Andy and Gaines, 50-50. Andy will flick it over Gababy. Now Drewy meets Woozy upstairs. And this is back in the neutral zone. 1-0 game with just over 2 minutes to go. This one flying towards the Western net, but that's no problem for Andy. He makes the clear.
There's Gababy yet again, keeping it from going too far towards the other side, giving his team a second to recoup. That's what he's best at, just like the fundamental things, Rowan.
3-2 lead for the East as we hit a minute 45 in the series, that is. In this game, East leads 1-0 with a win. That'll do it for this best of 7, but with a West win, we're going to game 7. We'll see what happens. We're just a few moments away. 1-0. Here's Andy with the double touch. Can't quite get it. That one's in an opportune spot for the West. Gaines clears it. Luckily, Andy is back to stop the Eastern Brigade.
And you know, it's just been the finishing touch for the West. They've had plenty of chances in front of net, but just haven't been able to put any of them away so far.
Here's Woozy the Bronco, but the Syracuse Orange, Gababy makes the stop. Andy off the side, Drewy the Spartan gonna send it towards the neutral zone. Gababy drops it down, Drewy can't get there in time. Now it's dropped back towards the middle, Gaines clears it far, and Woozy makes the play. Now here's Meave going to the side. Drewy gets past one, gets past two. Woozy's all they've got, and he makes it worth.
You got to get something going on offense, though, Rowan. You got a minute to score, or your day is done.
And now West starting to apply the pressure. This ball deep into the eastern side. Gaines takes to the skies. Woozy drops it down. And Andy, it's his ball to play. Gets it past Drewy. Gababy on the backboard. Drops it down in front of the net. A tough angle, though. Gaines will clean it up. 30 seconds to play. Not a goal scored since, I believe, the 4:18 mark.
This has been a defensive matchup, more so than you might have thought after the first minute.
20 seconds to play. 1-0 East lead. With a win, that'll do it for Fall Stars. A loss pushes us to Game 7. 1-0. It's the Orange. Gababy can't do it. Gaines now sags off. Woozy will make the touch. Drewy advances for the East. The West has got to get this the complete length of the field to have a shot. Gababy grounds it, and that'll do it. The East with just one top 5 stat against a Goliath top 10 West takes it 4-2 in the Fall Stars.
And it was just an incredible defensive performance there from the East, Rowan. And that is the effect Gababy has. You give up 5 goals in the game before. Gababy comes back in. What do? You shut him out.
It was a studded display from all these guys. I no longer need to be convinced. Granted, I didn't when this game started, but this was more than enough evidence. Every team in the PEC has got someone that can flip you over. The depth in this conference is just terrifying. For any team that you're a fan of, there's someone that you saw today that could crush your team. A lot of good guys here.
And more than anything, Rowan, I think it speaks to where this conference is going. This was more so than it was a competition. This was a celebration of the PEC, the players who play in it. And one, I'm so grateful we got to host it, but two, I'm so grateful that the PEC is in a place where we can put on an event like this and it can be as competitive as this was.
It was something I loved. The players took it seriously. Obviously, it was smiles and good fun, but went to 6 games. I mean, that's some great competitive nature, and everybody ate. Everybody had fun. It was a good showing.
Who would you name your PEC Fall Star Game MVP if you could?
For the East,
I know my answer.
I've got to go with Gababy. I really do.
I
thought Gababy was a scorer and was a facilitator, held it down on the defensive end. I saw highlights from Gababy in all 3 of those categories. I don't know if I can say the same for all the players on the East, though they did a great job. Opbomb contributed really solid offensively. Gaines had some really solid flashes. There were contributions from everybody, but holistically, the most valuable player, got to give it to Gababy.
I would completely agree with you. He played his heart out there, representing Syracuse well, representing us, hosting this event well.
That will do it for the Fall Stars. The East take a 4-2 win over the West. It was an absolute barn burner, and it was a pleasure to wrap up the fall season. We've got a ton more PEC play to come in the spring. Just a few weeks. You could stick around and tune into the PEC.edge.leagueos.gg. That's the PEC website. It's a mouthful, but just replay that and go ahead and type it in Google. You can get all of the PEC updates on that website when we'll be streaming next for all sorts of events. But we've got a whole week more of Fall Stars. What are the events laid out for us, Jack? Tuesday,
Overwatch
Thursday, Friday?
Tomorrow.
Overwatch tomorrow.
Valorant on Wednesday.
There you go.
Smash Bros. Thursday. You
Yeah.
know, the way that they are
Right.
generally during the PEC.
Right. So a lot of fun to come, but that'll do it for today. For myself, Jack Elliott, my co-caster, the entire esports production staff, huge hats off. I'm Rowan Mastrangelo. Thanks for hanging out with us. Take care.